Our good old reliable shadowlocked.com, 10 actors and actresses who deserve better roles. Not roles as in a bakery, but roles as in film.
I knew you were going to say that, too.
Wouldn't that be funny if it were about a bakery? Timothy Oliphant. He hasn't really come alive on film as he has on Justified, has he?
No, he was good in Go. I liked him in Go, and I liked him in the remake of The Crazies, but
I forgot that he was in Go. It's been a long time since I've seen that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he seems to be, more of a TV actor now. And I mean, I think that's where he's found his sea legs.
Yeah.
But you ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan. My favorite line in Forrest Gump, actually. That is. Nathan Fillion. He's this Whedon guy, right? He's the guy that everybody likes.
He was in Much Ado About Nothing. He was good in that, but he's also on that show Castle. He's found a lot of success on that. So I mean,
yeah, I mean,
okay.
He's the Firefly guy. So that's why I always. And he did another movie. Didn't he do this? What was that movie they did about the? Was it Creep or Slime or something like that?
No, Slither. He did Slither, and he was in Serenity, but he was pretty good. He's got Castle going for him.
You know what though? Doesn't it prove the point that he needs better roles when you're like, yeah, but he was in Slither.
Slither. Hey, Michael Rooker was in Slither, and we had him on the show. So,
I mean, but yeah, I mean, I think what these people want is, I guess, naming these two guys, these two square-jawed guys. It's the first two people on this list, is they want them to be movie superstars. I guess is what they're saying, and I'm not really sure if they're superstar sized, but okay.
Yeah, well, let's go. What's the next one?
Well, he was good in the movie that I like a whole lot, in Waitress. He was in that.
Oh, he was very good in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston.
She definitely do. I'd love to see her. It's funny, a lot of people denigrate Jennifer Aniston, but I'm still sticking up for her because I want her to return to those days when she was. I like it when she does indie movies, when she does things like Friends with Money or The Good Girl, stuff like that.
Or she's the one, even. She's the one, but she did The Horrible Bosses, which was she was really funny in that. But she's got this one, We're the Millers. I don't think that's going to be the one to bring her back, but
Although I'm telling you what, she is really for a 45-year-old lady. She's looking pretty goddamn good.
Oh my God, do we really think 45 is old? Okay, all right.
Well, I mean, they're not.
All right, Dean. I don't want to lose the boomers.
There's not a lot of 45-year-old ladies dressing up in bikinis in movies.
I was watching, what's that movie? What's the name of the movie with her and Life Happens or Love Happens?
Oh, the one with Aaron Eckhart, Life Happens, I think, yeah.
Yeah, and I actually like that movie because here's a rom-com, something promoted as a rom-com, and it goes much deeper than that. It's really about dealing with grief and loss, and how they meet among those conditions. And I thought it was really good. And peripherally, I thought she looked phenomenal. That movie.
Jennifer Aniston, what's up, baby? His story in that is, like you talk about, is the thing that really propels the movie. He's a fraud. I mean.
Yeah. But she hasn't really come alive in films yet. And remember, I think she's still stuck in that early George Clooney phase when he couldn't get a break in film, before the Soderbergh Out of Sight came
Out of Sight.
She's stuck in that.
But what about
pre-Out of Sight rut?
What about like something like Office Space or She's
the
One? Or...
Yeah. I mean,
these are 12 films we're talking about. We're not talking about blockbusters, obviously, but.
People forget that
we're talking about a role.
When it came out.
We're talking about the vehicle that offers her a role to take off on. and
okay.
she hasn't found that yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
John C. Reilly.
Really? Are we? I mean, he's been. I mean, you could say Wreck-It Ralph is the thing that for all ages, but he's been in so many. He's a great character actor. I mean.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, they're not saying that these people suck. In this
yeah,
sense.
no,
but he is kind of recognized.
I think he gets tons of good roles.
I mean,
I feel like almost everything. If he's in something, it's like okay, that'll be something. I mean, you know, he's good at everything he's in. So I mean, I think he's doing just fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he really needs any help. I mean, that's one I would strongly disagree with.
The problem that I have is, and maybe this is happening, maybe it's not, I don't want to see his career go the way of Vince Vaughn, where he finds a niche doing juvenile comedies and then that's all he ends up doing.
I don't think that he's going to do that because, I mean...
Yeah, but he's doing things like Carnage, though, and...
Yeah, and even something like The Promotion, which I think is one of the most under.
Yeah, The Promotion was great, and then there's something like Terry. There's a movie he made a couple of years ago, Terry, that was very good, too. So I don't think he's going there. Vince Vaughn could take a lesson and try to do some more of the indie films that made him so great.
And to take the kind of roles that John C. Reilly actually does take and still take. You know, I mean, he's willing to take a really tiny role in something, or they only have 3 scenes, or I don't know. I don't agree with that. I think John C. Reilly is exactly where he should be.
Okay, Billy Bob Thornton.
Now this is an interesting one.
He's just checked out, I think. Now, that's my impression of Billy Bob Thornton, is that he's checked out his movies. But
when he's good, like in Sling Blade or One False Move.
Well, again, you know, this isn't about whether these guys are good or not. This is just whether they're as big movie stars as they should be. I think that's what these guys
they're accepting as good a caliber of role as they should be playing. And I think your argument with John C. Reilly is, you know, how many Talladega Nights and Step Brothers and Walk Hards are you going to do? When are these movies kind of beneath you when you make them a habit? And Billy Bob Thornton has done, admittedly, he's done his fair share of paycheck movies, and he's fine with that.
Yes.
No, he has, but then he does something like I guess, is Bad Santa the last really, truly great, that was 10 years ago.
It's been a long time since we've seen something, you know, really, really terrific from him. But I mean, you know, to get back to John C. Reilly, I mean, let's don't forget he was in we need to talk about Kevin and
that's right. Yeah.
He's switching it up all the time, you know, just because it's those movies like Step Brothers and so forth, the Talladega Nights. Well, those are just the big hits.
Step Brothers, that was actually a very good movie. I actually think Step Brothers, of all those movies, of the big comedy movies, is actually very good.
I like them. I like Step Brothers and Walk Hard too.
Walk Hard is good too, yeah.
And Talladega Nights. I mean, I think he's really hilarious in it.
Next on the list, Christina Ricci.
That's a good one. I mean,
she's another person that seems to me to have checked out of movies. I mean,
she was so good in The Opposite of Sex and even Monster, but I haven't seen her in anything recently.
I wonder if Hollywood finds her kind of hard to cast in some ways because of her unusual look and you know, it's funny, you know, I like Christina Ricci better when she was, you know, a little chubbier, you know, and then when they made her lose all the weight or when she lost all the weight or whatever, I thought she looked kind of strange, like, what? Your head looks too big for your body or something? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. She lost something. She lost something very essential to her. I don't know, just her general look for me. And
Matthew Broderick.
If you play Ferris Bueller, do you really need to do anything else? I mean,
now he's kind of gone into character actor mode, hasn't he?
Yeah, but he's also, isn't he very big on, still whenever he does anything on Broadway or on stage? I mean,
yeah, he succeeds most of the time with that. I think he did something like something happened on the way to the Forum or something a little while ago.
Right.
I mean, and Nathan Lane, of course, lives on the stage.
Right.
I think his most critically acclaimed performance he just did on the stage. I don't know, Matthew Broderick. He's never been an electrifying presence, and I talked to him for the show, and and he actually admitted that he fell out of love with acting for a while. And with the indie films, he started getting reignited a little bit. But he's always been, for me personally, kind of a bland presence. Ferris Bueller notwithstanding. But he's done a lot of crap movies, and I think most of the crap movies came at that time when he started to fall out of love with it.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. He's a star because of War Games and John Hughes with Ferris Bueller. He's not a great.
You can count on me, though. He was good in the part that he had, and You Can Count on Me.
You can count on me. The cable. I mean, the cable guy. Election.
Yeah.
I mean,
Election. Election.
It's fantastic in that. He's slightly miscast in Glory, but he's still good at it. And I guess the last major movie that he was in, at least major for film lovers, is Margaret. But it's a small role in that pretty big movie. But yeah, now it seems like he's doing mostly just TV appearances and stuff on Broadway. So maybe. And
it's what I've always said about Matthew Broderick. There's just, and it goes to the whole plane thing. He's become like a major fuddy-duddy. Like you see him now, and he's wearing bow ties everywhere he goes, and it's like the antithesis of Ferris Bueller.
Right. Well, it happens to all of us. So
I don't think he has a free-spirited personality enough to get back on top again with a major exciting role. Alan Rickman.
Does Alan Rickman really care?
No, it's just about what this particular blogger cares about.
Alan Rickman's done a lot of good stuff. I mean, we've seen some of those movies, Noble Son, and obviously the Harry Potter movies. He was superb in. I mean, come on, he's the greatest diehard villain of them all.
He's somebody too that's just a character actor. He's not. Yeah. He's never going to be somebody who's above the title unless he's part of like a huge cast, like he's going to be in The Butler playing Ronald Reagan. But he's just a character actor, and that's what some of these guys like the John C. Reilly conversation.
It's a great gig if you can get it, character actor. If you can get that gig, that's an awesome gig.
Yeah.
Has he ever been nominated for an Academy Award?
No, he's never been nominated for an Academy Award. No.
He hasn't. I think they're arguing for him to play that kind of role. And you know what? I don't know why, but the first thing that came to my mind is he really needs to find a lead character like Michael Douglas played in The Wonder Boys, or Michael Caine played in Educating Rita, or something like that.
Yeah, Michael Caine. Like he needs to take a page out of Michael Caine's book. I agree.
I can completely see him doing that and completely shining in something like that. Last one that they list here, I think is the last one. Yeah, it is. Greg Kinnear.
Oh, now that's somebody I just don't have any real big feelings about. That's somebody I find he's talented and everything, but I just don't see him carrying a big movie, or I just don't see it. I watched that movie where he played the what was the name of that movie where he played the guy who invented the windshield wipers?
I've never seen that. I need to see that.
Invention. What's the title of that movie? Something Invention.
Forward or something, or
something forward.
But he was
something
good.
Invention.
Let me tell you this though. He's so disturbing in autofocus. That's got to count for something.
Yeah, I think autofocus and As Good as It Gets are the two best roles he had. But
and also Little Miss Sunshine. Little Miss Sunshine, you got to put in there. Everyone's good in that.
By the way, Flash of Genius.
Yeah, Flash of Genius should have been good, because I remember seeing the trailer for that and I said, "Oh man, that's going to be great." That movie was so dead. I mean, it was like lifeless.
It was. It was really. It just went nowhere.
Right. Yeah. Okay, but I liked him in autofocus a lot. I mean.
Oh, well, I think
autofocus is a great role.
Yeah.
I
think that's
Stuck
an
on
anomaly.
I reference autofocus once every couple of months.
You do?
I do. To people I know and to myself. But I do reference it, too. I really do.
I forgot about the Matador. He's good in that, too.
Oh, the Matador is wonderful, yeah.
Yeah. But
and who can forget his work in Robots? I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, Robots is definitely. What was Robots?
Animated.
That was
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Well, I do remember him as Captain Amazing and Mystery Man, and
Mystery Man is a great movie. No one ever gives that movie the credit it deserves. That movie's very funny.
That movie is hysterical. I don't understand why people. Does that movie have a cult following?
It does have a cult following. It's based on a cult comic book, but that movie, I mean, for a while, that was Ben Stiller's greatest role.
I can't tell you how much that movie makes me laugh. I mean, almost everybody in it.
And Tom Waits is in it. Remember, Tom Waits is in it, and Bill Macy. And
cast-wise, it's just insane. I mean, you just can't get over how great that cast is. But Janine Garofalo is also
one of her better roles. I mean,